This is a demo of the Smart Scanner quad on a very, uh, I'd say, subpar model that was freeware off of the internet. That you might find in a game engine. It's relatively low poly. You can see it. It's a cheetah. The face needs a little bit of work, but no BZP Pro nor myself did model this. This was done on, I believe, Creative Crash. But anyway, I will go ahead and begin to rig this up. See, I already put this on a layer. So I actually made a little button up here that actually triggers the plugin Smart Scanner Quad. So I'm just going to hit the button. The quad launches. Create the scale node. Execute the sketch skeleton. And then you can see this is actually locked. So the way this actually works is you take your mesh and actually move it, so you have to line up the root of your mesh to the root of your character, wherever you want the root of your character to actually be. That's for both the biped or the quad, and that just keeps everything lined up perfectly. So this is now lined up. So now what I'm going to do is just take this guy and I want to reference him, template him, and reference this guy up. Maybe put him down a little bit more. Yeah, that's about right. So I just kind of come through and begin to match up this skeleton with the joints. So this is the most tedious part of the process, as I have said in other videos. There'll probably be a little bit of cleanup after this, but you'll be able to get about 110 hours of rigging, of complex rigging, done in several minutes. So I'm just kind of coming through here and lining this up. A lot of times at ILM or EA or one of these companies I've worked at, LucasArts, the mesh will go through a series of phases, be passed off back and forth between technical department and modeling department, whether it be on Harry Potter or on Transformers. I did shot approval on Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, or on Star Wars or Madden or what have you. It's a lot of back and forth. The problem is, if you start a rig, you're pretty much stuck with it. But with this technique, with this procedure, you can pretty much go through and get as many of these rigs done as quickly as possible. So if you have to go back and forth between modeling or what have you, it'll be a lot smoother. This kind of, and it just worked out that this cheetah kind of falls right into place with what the joint structure is. So won't take too long. Get done. Ears can be a little problematic. We'll take this guy and actually slide him back a little bit. Then I'll do the front legs. A lot of times with a quadruped, it's going to have, unless it's a dinosaur or something, it's going to have a lot of fur on it. So that kind of eliminates a lot of the aesthetic of the mesh. So I'm just kind of lining this guy up. And then I'll go to perspective mode and then just kind of slide this guy on over. And once that's done, come through, go back to the GUI, and then make it symmetrical, and then lock it into place. Drop down B, create the leaf joints. If I want to move these around, I can. I'm going to delete them anyway, but just kind of move these around if I want to. And then when that's done, just mirror them over, lock those in place. Animation driver skeleton is done. When that's done, go to drop down C. Any excess joints that I don't want, I'm going to get rid of. And what's great about this, if I screw up, I can just start all over. It's no big deal. But I don't want hamstrings, triceps, biceps, pecs, lats. I can simplify all the way down to mobile if I want to, but I won't. On template, select the mesh, select the number of influences, 4, hit the button, it's bound. And then come through and actually pick, do I have a kind of body type? Do I have a horse or a lion? I have a lion. Is it a film line or a mobile line? It's a film type line mesh. Hit the button, browse to the scene where the Skinner file is, where it's been installed on your machine. Okay, you can see it's all locked into place. Just kind of template that. You want to kind of take this guy and scale him down a little bit. So maybe it's about like that. Yeah, it's a little better. You can kind of come through and do, that looks pretty good actually. Kind of come through and do individual weights. So some of these weights that are here, you can actually take these handles and just kind of move them around a little bit. Just it's actually locked up to it pretty good though. Just kind of take this guy and move this up. Take these controls and just kind of move them so your mesh is surrounded in the character mesh. And maybe you want to come through and actually take some of these, so this over here, and move these over a little bit. These up, make sure it's just clear. And take this guy and scale that down, maybe scale that in a little bit. Might not be a little bit problematic right there, but we can kind of take these and move these around. A little bit tighter fit in there. And I'll probably get a little bit of pulling back here. Just kind of move this up, take this and move this up. And then once that's done, and it looks relatively decent, you have a little bit of Stretching back here. Pull that up a little bit. It's kind of a little bit more in place. Up a little bit. Once that's done, hit 8B, transfers the skin weights, hit 8C, and references the file. Then we have a clean mesh. Might need a little bit of cleanup here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty clean. A little bit of cleanup on the foot, a little bit here and there. Well, you'll probably have fur on top of it anyway, so it won't really matter. And the tail, it's moving around. The root. It's a clean mesh. It's clean. When that's done, go back to your GUI. And you can just, when you rotate it to test it, hit this button, zeroes back out. Hit button 9, generates the entire control rig. Hit the button below, enables cartoony squash and stretch. Button below that, enables the facial GUI up here. Then your whole character is completed, which would take about 110 hours to do. And you're moving around. And your rig is completed. Thank you for your time.